Hey guys, well, with the big hike coming up, I thought I would gather up some of the gear that I've purchased and go over each individual item. As you may or may not know, I'm trying to do what's called an ultralight hike, and so some of the items that I've got, you can see them behind me there, are considered the big three. Laser. Anyway, I have the big three items plus a few extras. The big three are considered your tent, your backpack, and your sleeping bag. But I also have a few other items I'm going to cover, mostly items that go along with those three items. And I'm going to go over what items I picked and why, and also their weight. So I'll give you kind of a total weight that I have with those few items. So, to begin, this bad boy right here is my sleeping bag. I'm not going to bring this outer mesh because I don't need it. I'm just going to stuff this bag into my backpack as I hike, and that's a great way to conserve space. Rather than having one bunched up ball to just push into the bag, you can stuff it in around the other items that are already in your backpack. So this is a Marmot Hydrogen. It's rated down to 30 degrees, and I picked this bag because I wanted to complement it with a silk bag liner. And the reason I wanted to complement it with a silk bag liner is that these are really easy to pull out of the bag and throw into a washing machine. That way your bag stays relatively clean. My dirty, grimy body won't be touching the inside of the bag. It'll be on this, so I can take this out when I get to a laundromat, toss it in, and wash it, and that way I don't have to wash the bag, which is hard to do since it's a down-filled bag. And with the bag being rated down to 30 degrees, this will actually give me a little more heat at night if I need it. So with the addition of this, I'll probably make the bag rated to about 20 degrees, which I don't expect to get much colder than that since I'm hiking primarily in the summer months. So, the sleeping bag itself weighs 1 pound 9 ounce and is filled with 850 down. It's water resistance on the outside, so I think it'll be a really good bag. A lot of other PCT hikers have commented on how they really enjoyed having that bag on the hike. And then my mummy liner is 4.7 ounces. It's made of pure silk, 100% silk. And so the combination of the two still puts me at under 2 pounds. So I'm at a total of 1 pound 14 ounces. So I'm 2 ounces under 2 pounds, which is great for a sleeping bag. I don't know if you've weighed some of the synthetic bags that they sell at like Walmart, but those tend to be 4 or 5 pounds. So right there I'm saving 3 pounds just by getting a down bag. Of course they're a little more expensive, but it's worth it not to have that weight on the shoulders. So that's what I'm going to be sleeping in. So what I'm going to be sleeping on is the Thermarest Neo Air X Lite. It weighs in at 12 ounces, so it's light. It has an R value of 3.2, which means that it has an insulation rating that will keep me warm at night. It keeps me up off the ground so that cold air doesn't get in underneath me, and I stay well insulated, which is important. And it's comfortable. I do have to blow it up a little bit. It's not self-inflating like some of those extremely expensive pads are, but I'm going to be bored at night anyway, so that gives me something to do when I'm setting up camp. Now my home on the trail is going to be this bad boy right here. It's the Fly Creek UL2. It weighs 1 pound 15 ounces for the trail weight, so that doesn't include the stuffed sack and things like that, which I'm not going to take the stuffed sack. Again, this is something like the sleeping bag that I'm just going to cram into my backpack, or I'll put it in the outer mesh of the backpack if it's wet from condensation or rain to allow it to dry. And the UL2 is actually a 2-man tent, but I've heard reviews about the 1-man version where you just feel a little bit claustrophobic. There's not a lot of room to live around, and since this is my home, while I'm on the trail, I wanted something that I could move around a bit in and spend time in, and it wouldn't feel claustrophobic. So as you can see, I haven't even opened it yet. I need to set it up in the living room, do that kind of a test, and then I'll do an outside test once it starts warming up. Right now we've got snow on the ground outside, so it's not the best time of year to test camping gear. At 1 pound 15 ounces is just under 2 pounds, but it'll actually be over 2 pounds because this is the footprint. So this is what I lay on the ground underneath the tents for insulating and cleanliness and things like that. It's nice to have a footprint, especially when it rains. It'll keep rain from getting in underneath your tent, so it doesn't flood you in the middle of the night. So with those two items, it's actually 2 pounds 3 ounces, which is very light for a tent. And actually, if I didn't have the rain fly, it would only be 1 pound 7 ounce. So it's very light. I think it'll do just fine on the trail. And then finally, the last item is this ULA. It's Catalyst. So this is my big fat backpack, almost as big as Monster in the movie Wild. And this will hold all of my gear, this gear plus a lot of other gear that I don't have yet, or a lot of the gear that I do have, but it's in Oregon with my family, and I will go over that gear once I get home to Oregon. But this backpack weighs in at exactly 3 pounds. I'm going to actually make it lighter because there's several things in here that I don't need, like there's a mesh pocket and some holders on the side that will like hold a water bottle and things like that I can take off. So I'm going to shave about 4 ounces off of this, so I'll actually be at 2 pounds 12 ounces roughly, maybe a little bit higher than that. But for all intents and purposes, 3 pounds for the pack. And then of course you need the rain cover, and this will help keep the pack dry, although I am going to have a trash compactor bag on the inside of my pack to ensure that everything stays dry anyway. This will just add an extra barrier against the rain, because inevitably I'll be in the rain when I'm on the trail. So those are the items I wanted to cover with you today. This, by the way, weighs in at 3.4 ounces, so all of this stuff added up comes to 128 ounces, or roughly 8 pounds. So at 8 pounds, it's pretty light. Of course, I'm going to have other gear, and then that other gear that I take along will add up to be my base weight, and then whatever my food and water is, that'll be my total weight. So once I get out to Oregon, which I'm moving in about 2 weeks here, it's March 1st today, so 2 to 3 weeks is when I'm shooting to move, and I still have some things to sell before I can move. I got to sell this desk and bed, and so I have a yard sale coming up, things like that. So anyway, that's my stuff. 8 pounds so far, trying to keep it under 15 pounds for my base weight, so I don't have much wiggle room, and with the GoPro and its casing and all of those little things, the weight will add up over time. So I have to be a little bit nitpicky on what exactly I'm going to bring, but at the same time you want to have some level of comfort because this is your home while you're out on the trail. So anyway, I just thought you guys would like to see what I have thus far, and I'll try to keep doing updates like this, continuing to give you guys insight into why I'm picking certain things and what I'm picking and what I'll be taking on the trail. Alright, see you guys later. Would you like a hot pocket? They're breathtaking.